Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are
So
you today?
I am good and I'm loving seeing all this white stuff on the ground. Means Christmas is on its way. But then the white stuff came, stayed, and then I guess we had freezing rain on top. So
Yeah, it's very
not a good
ugly.
thing.
Very ugly out there. I'm supposed to drive my son back to Ottawa today, and I'm not thrilled about that because, like a lot of people, we always wait till the last minute. I don't know. I think for me, it's denial or thinking that if I don't do it, maybe it won't happen, So
Oh,
I always wait to put my winter tires on. And now everybody is trying to, like Walmart in the States was booking into Fridays, and my garage here in Cornwall was, like I'm still waiting for a call back. But yeah, I got to get those tires on.
yeah, I
Off.
know.
And you in the boonies, you need tires like that.
Well, I kept my winter tires on.
Oh,
I didn't
all
take
summer.
them off because basically I figured it might do one more winter and that's it. But I'm gonna see the test is if I can get out of my driveway, then
They're
these
still
tires
good.
are still good. If I can't, well, we got a problem. And I know Sheldon was calling last week too to book his winter tires, and it was like a week in advance
Yeah.
at least. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
And that's before the snow fell, so,
Oh
now
yeah.
it's probably like, "Oh my gosh." Anyways, I'm dreading the phone call because 'cause I'm thinking, "Oh, maybe it's gonna be 2 weeks now," but I figure I'm gonna have to, just take the 401 all the way to 416 and then take the 416 and just stay on highways, right? Because
Yeah.
it's safer, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to do. I'm not gonna go nowhere near the 138 today.
Oh my God, really? Well, we drove back. We ended up driving back, I think, on the 138 from Rockland, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
Yes.
But I mean, I try and avoid that too, usually. It's just the GPS brought us that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary stretch. And of course, the other thing is too, first snow, so many accidents. People
Um
have forgotten how to drive in the winter.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But oh my God, like it's so crazy. Like I don't know what's going on collectively. We're getting worse at driving. Like I was on Brookdale the other day
Hmm.
and I'm turning on 9th. I'm going to Walmart. So I'm on Brookdale, turning on
Yep,
9th, coming
yep,
from the north. Okay. So the other side is as priority, right? Like they
yep,
have a green light. They're going, like,
yep.
so I engage and I'm waiting to go. This guy comes and stops at the green light. He stops at the green light to let me pass. I'm like,
What?
dude, you got a green light. Just keep going. Like, people try to be courteous, but like the road is not the place to be courteous. Like, don't, don't be polite and let me go when I'm like, that's not my turn. You have a green light. Go.
Yeah.
You're going
And then
straight. Go.
yeah, and then, of course, he'll end up with people behind him honking the horn going, "Why are you
Well,
not
he had
moving?"
nobody behind him, so that's
Luckily.
probably like but oh my God, like it's insane. And yeah, and people are so angry. Like Mateo
Yeah.
almost into a road rage incident the other day. Like this dude, I was at a green light. The light just turned green. And I'm
And he's
turning and
honking.
he honks. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like calm down. I'm giving him a look, like go, you know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you don't have time to put your foot on the gas and they're already behind you honking. I know.
yeah, I'm like,
It happens.
okay,
Or
exercise a little
I just
patience.
love the one where you're in a parking lot, you're pulling out of your space. You should let you've got time, but then somebody comes right behind you and can't stop to let you come out. They got to
Yeah,
kind
no,
of just
they're in a rush. Everybody's in a rush.
yeah,
It's like, I don't know. Part of us wants to be polite, part of us is just total assholes. It's just like I don't know. It's just collectively I find that the roads are getting like
they are.
anyways. That's my vent for today.
Oh.
Monday, November 10th. So today we have a great topic.
We do. And before we start that, I know we're not going to have time at the end to do any events because it's going to take the whole show, I'm sure. So I just want to let people know the Merry Mini Show is on at the Klein House Gallery and it's on till December 20th. So this is an awesome show because you have over 250 small 12-inch by 12-inch pieces of art that are very affordable for Christmas presents.
Mhm.
They're made by 50 plus regional artists the gallery located obviously at 204 2nd Street East in Cornwall. The hours are Wednesday to Saturday, 10 to 4. And in the Creative Conservatory, there are tons of small items, very, very affordable. In fact, the whole gallery is full of affordable Christmas presents. So just go in, and I'm sure you're going to find something on the list for everybody.
Awesome.
Oh,
Okay, so
and I just want to also mention Santa Claus Parade is on the 15th.
yes, on the 15th, and we're going to be broadcasting it live as we always do. So don't miss it. It's going to be right here on our social media channels. All
Yeah.
right. So before we bring in our guests, I want to play this little clip that I found because I thought it was so apropos. I'm not sure I'm going to play it all. It's 2 minutes, but it's going to give the gist of what the topic today is. So
Okay.
here we go.
Perfect.
Have you been able to get in touch with the CRA?
No, no one can. Lines are all backed up. I've been on hold for weeks. Wait, it's them. It's a CRA.
Oh, no, the CRA doesn't call you, so that's a scam.
But what if it's not?
Well, it says likely scam.
I gotta risk it.
Hello, this is totally the CRA.
Finally.
And I just wanted to let you know we have a warrant out for your arrest.
What do you need from me?
Aaron?
I gotta risk it.
We just need your SIN number and $5,000 in Steam gift cards, and we gotta keep this hush-hush, so no banks.
Just 1 second. Just let me write this down.
They're conning you.
I am on the phone. And if I don't deal with this right now, I might never get a hold of them again.
And may I ask who I'm speaking with?
See, he doesn't even know who you are.
Aaron Aloysius McCann. A is in Aaron. A is in Aaron. R is in Ron.
You know, the longer this works on you, the older you look to me.
Shut up.
Shut up! Don't talk to me like that!
I'm sorry, is there someone else there with you? We have a warrant out for their arrest, too.
We're both in so much trouble.
What's your SIN number there, mystery boy?
I'm a woman.
Okay, yeah, sure, buddy. And I work for the Canada Revenue Agency. Now I'm gonna need you and your male best friend to bring $8,000 in unscratched cash for lives to the quarry just outside town, or you will be tried as an adult.
Write that down just in case the call drops.
He does.
Anyways, that just gives the gist of what we're talking about today. We're talking about scams. So welcome.
Today we've got Constable Hayugan and Mark Anderson from the Cornwall Police Service. And we're going to discuss scams. They're here to share real insight, practical advice, and the latest updates on how we can spot, avoid, and protect ourselves from scammers. So welcome, both of you.
Morning, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So first of all, I know it's a topic that's really hot out there right now, and there are lots of scams, but there's something I saw on Facebook that really made me laugh. So the scammer calls an old lady and says, "I have all your passwords." And she goes, "Oh, good. Give me a minute to get a pen and paper so that you can give them to me. I'll write them down because I don't remember any of them." Like, that's kind of a funny thing, but there are so many serious scams out there right now. And
So what is what do you see the most of?
You want me to go, Pat?
If you want to go ahead and then I can add on if you want,
Yeah.
Mark.
It's wow. That's it. They fluctuate. They seem to get lucky doing a certain method of scam, and then they'll switch to another one when people kind of catch on. Right now, I don't know if you saw on our Facebook page, we had someone going around purporting to be from the Special Olympics trying to raise money. It can be as simple as that, just going door to door, pretending to be someone they're not and trying to raise money, or they can be much more elaborate than that. Grandparent versions of the grandparent scam are pretty prevalent right now. We had someone recently going around claiming to be a member of the Sûreté du Québec, and falsifying an investigation of some sort to try and get access to people's personal data. They really kind of ebb and flow with the creativity of the scammers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Pat, what you're seeing.
We're seeing, we still hear a lot about like romance scams. There's different versions of romance scams. In some cases, people are either they prey on the lonely and the vulnerable. We see sometimes they prey on people that are recently they're widowers or widows, and they prey on that. We sometimes see some people are very, very convincing, and some people, even after their family members become involved and the victim has given all of their disposable income to these people, sometimes they're still convinced that they just need to make that one extra payment to help that other person come out of where they are, bring them, to meet them in person or things like that. And we've also seen sometimes the same victim gets re-victimized if they've fallen for it once in a romance scheme. We sometimes see that the same person becomes a victim a second time.
So a pattern.
It's just very unfortunate, but we're seeing that the scammers are very resourceful in what they do, and very convincing.
So they use feelings and vulnerabilities into people's personal lives. But have scam patterns changed over the past few years? Like, I'm assuming you've been there for a while. So have you seen like a huge change with social media and everything? Is it different than it was like, say, 5-10 years ago?
I would say technology definitely plays a big role in it, and I don't know if you have anything else to add, Mark, from your side, but I think technology makes it easier for people to use technology for the purpose of scamming people.
Absolutely. And some of the method of payment where it used to be bank transfers and things like that were much easier for us to track investigatively, now is turned to Bitcoin, Apple gift cards, Google Play cards, the Steam cards, like was mentioned in your video, that are very, very difficult for police to track, and sometimes impossible for police to track. So they definitely have adapted that way. And it's important to note that, the government will never ask you to pay in Steam cards or Bitcoin or anything like that. Google Play cards, Apple cards, that's not how that works. So anybody asking you to pay for anything via those means, you need to be
It's crazy though that people will actually believe that and are still falling for that kind of thing.
Well, like Pat says, unfortunately, these individuals are professionals, and they're very, very good at what they do. They're very convincing. They know when to apply a little bit of pressure, and they know when to back off a little bit. There's a reason why they're very successful at this, and that's unfortunately because they're typically pretty good at what they're doing.
I'd like to touch on the rights of the victims, because I had a situation like just last month where somebody took some money out of my bank account, and it was going through Google AdSense. And so my BMO, who is my bank, got involved, and I think they called you guys probably to report the scam. And then I was trying to get through Google to see, who it was and what email address was used to do those charges. Because they have that information. So Google would not give me the information because it was not under my name. So they wouldn't give me the information that my bank account paid for. So I was really frustrated, and I thought that was not that I know what I would have done with the information. Eventually, the money was refunded. It was not a huge amount of money, but they're so wise because, they started this in August, and they were taking very little amounts, like $2, like $5, just to test the waters, right? And then eventually it got to like 200, 100. Total was about less than 1,000, but still. And I'm a very cautious person. I don't I don't fall for emails. I like anytime there's an email that has a link in it, I don't click it. So I have no idea how that happened. what does the victim can do? Like, should I have called you guys personally, or my bank was saying that they were going to deal with it? And do you investigate for something that is like less than $1,000, because it's not a huge amount of money?
You want me to go on that one, Pat, or you want?
I can go if you want, Mark, and we can add on. So the victims, like I always encourage the victims to report it, because if we don't know about it, we can't do anything about it, so to speak. But I think it's also important, like sometimes there are some cases where some, like maybe not in this case in particular, but like in some cases where someone's being the victim of a grandparent scam or stuff like that, if it's not reported to police, we have no way of catching them because we don't even have the information. But if we are told that a fraud has occurred or that something has taken place, then sometimes we can track down the people that are involved. Frauds are very complex and complicated to investigate, and as Sergeant Anderson was saying, it's very complicated, especially with the new way money is being transferred. It's very very difficult to follow the trail. But I think I always encourage the victims to report the frauds, and you don't know what else is going on in the city. There may be other things that are similar. Maybe the person who's responsible has already been identified by other means for another fraud. As I said, it gets complicated when it's money being taken out of your bank account and things like that. There's all kinds of privacy issues that we have to navigate around, and it becomes very, very time-consuming and complicated to investigate, and sometimes we end up with a dead end. But again, like every case is so unique on its own that it's hard to give a blanket answer that covers every situation. But I think without us knowing about it, it really makes it difficult for us to even do anything to try to help resolve the issue. But Mark, I don't know if you have any other points to add.
Yeah, just a couple things, Pat. I would also add that the banks employ investigators who are very good at what they do. Oftentimes, ex-police fraud investigators, they'll patch over to a banking system post-retirement, and their investigations are very thorough, and they do a very, very good job. It's nice to hear that you were able to get your money refunded. Oftentimes, once the bank realizes, that this is no fault of the victim, they will refund that money. And privacy issues are a top concern for many, many organizations. And I guess a lot of this money goes out of the country, and that poses a whole other set of investigative hurdles for police. But definitely echo what Pat says, report it to your bank, report it to police. Oftentimes your bank will want a police incident number to kind of fulfill that investigation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that I've been refunded and everything, should I still contact you guys and make you aware of it? Good question. I mean, there's nothing wrong with calling us and providing the circumstances to a dispatcher. If it's something they're aware of and they know, they might not. But if there's a new little twist to whatever the situation was you experienced, that might be something that yes, they would push on to an investigator to track down. Oftentimes, if the bank's doing the investigation, police, because we're so confident in what the banks do, will back off a little bit and let them conduct their investigation, and they will report it to us if we need to be involved at any level. Okay.
So you can't go wrong reporting it, but understand that if it's something we're aware of and it's fairly common, we might just say thank you very much for your information, and it may end there. Not always, but sometimes.
Well, I will go to you because last week after this happened, like I said, this happened a month ago, and then last week I got a phone call from my bank saying that my card had been canceled because somebody in Ohio tried to buy a pizza. So I'm like, okay, this is not over.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go see you guys. All right.
If I could just add something as well in relation to this, if it deals with any credit card or bank account, oftentimes it's recommended to ask them to cancel that card or change the account number so that whatever information has been used once can't be used again.
Oh, change the account number.
So
That's
I would recommend contacting your financial institution, whether it's a bank or
Mhm.
credit card company, depending on the case, and make them aware of it. And as a precaution, change the card number or the account number if it's coming directly out of your bank account, just to ensure that it doesn't continue to happen. Because
Yeah.
once your information's out there, we don't know who else is going to get a hold of it. In this case, you
Right.
said somebody else tried to make a purchase with it. And the other thing, if your information, your personal information has been compromised, it's important to also report it to TransUnion and Equifax so that they could flag your profile in order to prevent you from being the victim of identity fraud, where somebody takes your identity and tries to apply for credit cards, financing for vehicles, or things of that nature. So there are a lot of things that there's a lot of different variations of this, but if your account has been compromised in some way, I would recommend changing the account number or changing the card, and then
okay.
notifying TransUnion Equifax just as a precaution.
So,
Mm.
everything happens on the internet nowadays. Banking is part of that, of course. People in business do everything online. So, how do people protect themselves from like all the stuff that's happening? I know, like for example, email scams. Like I was saying earlier, anytime there's a link on it, I don't click it because I don't
Mhm.
know if it's legit or not, or at least I put my mouse over to see if it links to the right place. But now that's not even reliable anymore, because sometimes you click on the link and it goes and it even if it looks like it's coming from BMO, let's say, it
Yeah.
redirects to something else. How can people protect themselves from having their information grabbed?
So everything you just mentioned, be very cautious of any links that you click on. It comes down to policing your activities on the internet. Make sure you're only going places that you're confident are legit. It's Pat mentioned earlier, targeting in the romance scams, targeting widowers and things like that. People post tremendous amounts of data online,
Yeah.
on social media, and the people that are committing these frauds are doing their research. They're looking at all this information and they're gathering. A while back there was a scam going on where they would call up and say a member of your family is in jail and they need $8,000 to get them out of jail. Well, this is all researched on the internet. They can see the family ties, they can see the links, and they would purport to be a nephew or in the grandparent scans, a grandchild, and I need money and I need help. Honestly, this is all available online to the extreme. When you throw out your credit card statements and you throw out information, tear that stuff up really well, shred it, so that it's not easy for the nefarious people out there to find that stuff. Sometimes that stuff is hard because we're so social media savvy these days, but
Yeah.
it really comes down to
I wanna add also, sometimes we play little innocent games. We think, oh, it's so cute, I'm gonna participate, and you have like a set of 25 questions, and it's like, did you ever go here? Did you ever go there? Did you do this? Like how many? Like, did you ever jump out of an airplane? What was the name of your first dog? Whatever. Those games are oftentimes used
Yeah.
to fetch the answers to the security questions that you have on your bank accounts and stuff. So don't play those games.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we pay attention to the emails. Don't click on any links that are contained in emails. When it comes to like real, you were mentioning before people going door to door and pretending to be whatever. So
Mhm.
how do we protect ourselves from that?
Because you can't even ask them for ID. I mean, they could be showing false ID there too. So how do you know? What can you do?
So I can say something right now in relation to that. So sometimes we have people that go door to door offering services, for example, where they're gonna, check your hot water tank, or they're offering a renovation service of some kind. Unless you've reached out to that person, or somebody that's had work done by that person, you have no idea who this person is. We have scams where people come door to door to try to get offer renovation services or service at home, and come to find out that they're not actually a business, and that they take your deposit and run away with it, basically, and then you're stuck with either a project that's been started but not completed, where they've left midway through. And the best way to protect yourself when it comes to that type of scam is, if they come to your door offering service, if you don't know these people, you haven't had any people, you're not aware of anyone who's used these people, then I would avoid agreeing to do any business with these people. When it comes to donations and things like that, if they're coming door to door, I would be cautious as well, unless you've made arrangements for this organization to come to your house at a specific time. You really don't know who these people are, even if they have, if they have some type of ID. It's still not easy to determine if it's legitimate ID or if they're actually from that organization. So I would just be cautious if people are coming to your house and you didn't ask for their services. Stay clear of that, and just deal with people that you're familiar with, or companies that you're familiar with that have a long-lasting. They've had ties to the community and have been in business for it's not a new business, we'll say, like something that's been around for a while. Because then you have the reputation of the business, or you can look things up on that business. But Mark, I'm not sure if there's anything else you would like to add.
No, I would have said the exact same thing, Pat. If anybody comes knocking on my door, I just give them the blanket statement. I don't deal with people that come up to my door. If I, like Pat says, if I need something, I'll reach out to the organization myself. I don't purchase anything from door to door petitioners. I mean, the old adage always is the same. If it's too good to be true, it probably is, right?
Yeah.
Right. And maybe don't pay anything up front.
Absolutely
Right.
not.
Don't pay anything up front. You say,
Yes, especially on
I'll pay when it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
the contractor is a legitimate contractor and you've reached out to
Yeah.
them and they have references and all that, then you can probably be pretty maybe a little more confident. But yes, you definitely should be careful of the people knocking on your door asking you to pay a deposit right away.
Uh-huh. I want to ask about AI and how it has changed, or if you have seen any changes, because AI is still a bit recent. So, but we've heard of people cloning voices, for example. So when you get a phone call from whatever and they're asking you questions, a survey, even, like, it's just like you're cloning your voice, you're giving your voice to people who can potentially do fraud with it. After, because then they clone your voice. I think, Mylise, you were talking about a granddaughter or a grandmother who received a phone call from their granddaughter, and it was their granddaughter's voice asking them for money. So I think reality is going to be getting harder and harder to differentiate from fiction with AI. So what's in place to try to educate people, and have you seen like a huge increase in AI fraud?
So we've heard the same reports that you have about voices sounding eerily similar to people's ones. And again, I'll put out there that if this granddaughter is active on social media and 15 videos of herself with lots of comparative samples of her voice on the internet to be used and cloned, it's going to become difficult. I don't think we really know yet. I mean, we have some concerns like you do about AI. I don't know that we really know yet the extent of how it's going to impact scams. But I think it's probably, likely that it is going to have an impact on scams. It's going to likely make it easier for the people out there committing these crimes to do that. But in the same vein, you should be able to use it, quickly to say, hey, is this likely a scam? Hey, is this, and the hope is maybe it'll provide a warning that, you need to be cautious moving forward. I don't know, Pat. I haven't seen anything.
So I think when it comes to AI, like I've seen and I've heard some examples. I think one of the big things is people are being asked to invest in these miracle investments, and they're sending large amounts of money because, let's say, someone who's a known figure is saying, invest in this. This is what I've done. I've made lots of money.
Oh yeah.
And we've in recent presentations that we've done, we have a video clip that talks about a broadcast that was done by CTV News where they're warning people about the investing in certain company, certain kind of investment, and how this person was a victim of fraud and lost a large amount of money. But somebody took that broadcast and changed it with AI and made it sound like this was a great investment, as opposed to warning people about it, and said, invest in this. And, overnight, this person made $60,000, for example. And in the end, if you look very closely to the AI broadcast, you see that the sound doesn't match the movement of the lips. So if you're looking at a video, again, technology keeps changing and there's more and more advancements, so it won't always be easily detected. But if you watch the movement of the lips, and if it doesn't match the sound that you're hearing, that's an indication that it's not a legitimate video, or legitimate that it's been edited in some way. That being said, I think on the kind of broader messages, just invest with people that you rely on, that you know are registered investors, people that have all the proper training and accreditations to be able to do business and investments. And as Mark mentioned before, if something seems too good to be true, and it seems like it's a very great product, sometimes it's not as good as it seems, and it's part of the scam, right? They try to get people's attention, and they'll often put urgency in the messaging. Limited time offer, has to be done within the next hour. Even with grandparent scams, they put urgency, and they try to tell people, like, you can't tell anyone about this, it has to be done right away. They try to isolate people so that they don't have time to slow down and process things. And they specifically target certain people, certain parts of the population, because it's easier to trick or deceive certain parts of the population, because of some people, when they're more elderly, their cognitive functioning is declining, and it's not as good as it once was. And by putting pressure to invest or do something, or send money because you're trying to help a loved one, they put urgency and they put pressure, they put emotion in it. And sometimes people fall for that because they don't have the time to actually consider what is actually taking place.
Yeah, my mom, I've actually heard my mother got about 4 Dear Grandma scams, like, please help me. And it was funny because my mother's, like, she's 92, but sharper than a tack. But what she does is she will ask them a question that applies to whoever they're talking to. If it's like the grandson or whatever, she'll ask a question that only the grandson would know, and they suddenly stumble because they can't answer that question, and click, they hang up on it. So that's one thing. If you do get the Dear Grandma, ask a question that only your grandson or granddaughter would know the answer to. But
And so,
again, when people are on the phone, they're not going to think that fast, though. That's the problem.
But
yeah,
then again, if the granddaughter is on social media and puts all her life in there, like
Yeah,
the answer to the question might be there. Yeah, it's getting more and more difficult.
yeah, you're right.
I want to ask next, like what part of these scams that you're seeing, local versus international or outside of the country or the area?
I mean, the scams that we're talking about here, I feel, are mostly not local.
Mhm.
I wouldn't call what goes on locally, might be more fraud than scams. You know, people stumbling across a credit card and using that credit card. I'm trying. I mean, we've had some good luck with some grandparent scam investigations where we've been able to arrest the people mid scam. They typically are not local individuals. There was a business scam going around where somebody would call in and order a bunch of supplies from a local store, and then they would ask a local person to go pick that up on behalf of the company and drop them off. So the local individual is not aware. They just seem to think this is a a regular kind of business deal. We don't. I'm not aware of anything, Pat, unless you are.
I think as Mark was mentioning, a lot of it is more organized crime, and it's not necessarily unique to our community. We see a lot of one of the current trends is distraction theft or distraction scams, where they will be a group of people that are working in conjunction with one another to gain someone's attention while somebody else goes behind them and takes either their wallet or their purse, takes the credit cards, and then or if there's an object of value, they will take the object of value, and as soon as they have what they need, they all disappear. But there was an example, just an elderly lady had placed an order at McDonald's and was waiting for her food. She was alone at the counter. All of a sudden, 4 or 5 people show up, and they're all waiting and getting close and hovering around her. And eventually, as the food comes up, there's one person that comes up behind her, and two or three other people are next to her, saying, "Oh, that's mine, that's mine," kind of bumping her. As they're bumping her, someone's taking her wallet from her purse.
Okay.
And then she's already paid for her purchase, so she doesn't realize what's going on until after, once the credit card's been used and the money's already been kind of spent. So it's just being aware of your surroundings. These are organized crime where people are working in conjunction with one another. And as Mark mentioned, a lot of times these are not people that are local. They're traveling
From city
from
to city.
city to city along the 401 corridor is a common theme we see, and they'll do it for a period of time, and then they stop, and then there's a new group that'll do it, and then they sometimes go undetected for an extended period of time, because it's sometimes difficult if they're not local to identify them. Like, we do sometimes track them down and are able to identify them, but these are cases that take a while to identify the people, because they're often not from here, and they're very well organized, and it's just something people have to be aware of. Is distraction
Yeah.
is often used. In some cases, people will stop somebody and say, "Oh, there's something wrong with your vehicle," and they'll get you to exit your vehicle while your valuable items are inside. Take your attention away. Somebody else sneaks in, grabs what's valuable, and leaves as you're distracted outside of your vehicle. So sometimes it's in the form of asking for directions or things like that, and just getting you to turn and look the other way, away from your purse, away from your cart if you're at the store. There's just variations of that, but oftentimes it's organized, and it's not necessarily local suspects. It's people that are traveling.
Speaking of distraction, I want to put a couple of slides on the screen, because this is one thing that's happening that we're oftentimes not aware of because we're on our phone all the time. And if you're in a public transportation or you're in a public place and you're in your phone, you're totally oblivious to what's happening around you. Sometimes some people might be either um, recording your PIN on your phone. So when you're unlocking your phone, so they can have access to your PIN, steal the phone after, obviously, but um, and also just like, is there such a thing? Because I've heard, and I'm not, it's not confirmed, but I've heard that people can lift some information from your phone by getting close to the phone with a device or a phone or something. Have you heard of anything like that?
I'm not aware of anything like that. I know, I mean, that technology exists. That's how you tap. If you use your phone to pay for something, I want to say that's like near field technology or something like that. I'm not aware of it. I'm not aware of any scams where people are lifting data from your phone just by being in proximity of that phone. I'm not saying it's not possible. It might be, but I'm not aware of. We've seen blockers used in certain crimes where they will block all cell phone signals while they commit a crime. But I've never heard, Pat, unless you have, of them lifting data.
I'm not aware of that. I'm aware of people stealing like credit card information by using a device for tap.
Yeah, right.
I've heard of that.
RFID stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The RFID readers where they pick up signals and then they can use the data from your credit card or bank card to reproduce and use that. But I'm not aware of anything relating to data. But the only thing that comes to mind that could be is if somebody doesn't have the proper privacy settings and they can share everything. Like if you just if it's in proximity to other phones, but often you'll have a prompt on your phone saying, "Do you allow this phone to transfer data?" I'm not aware of anything, at least to my knowledge. I'm not aware of anything right now. But I am aware that sometimes credit cards and bank cards can be compromised in that way.
All right. Then I want to move on to this little gem from Ottawa. So I think it was the Ottawa police that had this on their site, warning people about this scam, this QR code scam that's happening with the Pay by Phone parking app. So people go and just slap a sticker with a QR code on these signs. And that goes obviously to something completely different than the Pay by Phone app, and they collect money that way. Have you seen anything like this in Cornwall? Is this something you're aware of? Is there other QR codes? Because it's fairly easy to just print stickers for a QR code and just go like, and QR codes are, everywhere on posters, on like, so how can you protect your QR code? Do you have any idea?
I haven't seen this one before. It's pretty clever, as most of these scams are. I mean, I think you just have to be aware that this is a possibility. I hadn't heard about this. Now that I'm aware, the next time I go to do this, I might just take my finger and scratch on that just to see. There's little things you can do, low tech stuff that sometimes can prevent you from being scammed. So I mean, and there is the kind of the key thing in all of this. The more information that you can pass along, the better prepared people will be to kind of protect themselves against scams. So
yeah, and I would just caution people to maybe, instead of using a QR code, go through the Ottawa bylaw department parking, but use a source that like sometimes convenience makes it easy for people to follow something because it's so convenient and you don't think about it. But I think to be cautious, it might be a good idea to go to the website of the actual agency where you're paying for parking and look up that location, and then that's a more foolproof way of doing it. Takes a few extra steps, but I think that's one way of trying to navigate around these QR code parking frauds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to park in the St. Lawrence College parking lot. And again, you can't put money anywhere. You can't pay anybody. You have to go and put your visa number and stuff in their, their information center, whatever. And I'm like nervous doing that too. Like I'm thinking, is it going to where it's supposed to be going, or am I giving somebody my credit card number? You start getting really paranoid because you don't know. But I've got a little example here. So my husband had some issues with Bell. They were charging him for some stuff that they said they wouldn't. So he called up Bell Canada and talked to them. And somebody said, yes, we can take care of this. We'll reverse the charges, whatever. Somebody from Bell will call you tomorrow. So it was really strange. He did get a phone call for the next day. And this person asked for information, said that he would get a text to his phone. Can he get the number for that, that was texted to his phone and stuff? And because of all these problems, they were going to send him a watch as a gift, for being sorry. So he didn't think anything of it because Bell had already told him somebody would call the next day. He thought it was legit. Then all of a sudden they say, oh, I'm so sorry. We shipped off an iPhone to you by mistake. When it gets to you, you're going to need to call us and we're going to give you an address to send the iPhone back to. So obviously he says, oh, this doesn't sound right. And when he called Bell, the real Bell, they said there was nobody even knew of that conversation. And yes, an iPhone had been credited, like put on his account. So basically, when this iPhone came, the scammers wanted the iPhone sent to a different address, which was theirs, and he would have been stuck with this $1,500 phone bill. So
That's scary.
It is scary because
you're wondering, were they listening on your calls or something?
Yeah, well, all he could see was that somebody at Bell leaked out the information to a scammer, even though they have to obviously sign a non-disclosure form or something. So then how does this other person call the next day and set up this thing for the phone? That's scary.
Did Sheldon report this?
He actually, he talked to Bell and they clarified it. They sorted it out and they reimbursed his $1,500.
Report this to the police?
No, he didn't actually, but he should have done.
Yeah.
He figured Bell would sort it out. But again, you're saying only deal with people you know. While Bell Canada, he figured he was talking to them. Yep. So how does one figure that one out? How do you know?
So when it comes to technology, I don't know if you're aware, but there are ways for people to steal different caller ID. So when you receive a call on your phone, it'll say Bell Canada, for example, but it may not be Bell Canada. Mm-hmm. So they can steal the caller ID or the name that comes up. It could say something different. So you can't always rely on the caller ID as being legitimate or accurate. But I would be cautious if somebody calls you and they're asking you for information. If you're a client there already, they should already have that information. Mm-hmm. So I would avoid dealing with that, and I would ask. I would instead call the number that you know is a Bell number or the proper business number, and verify, is this actually accurate, like your husband did, and mm-hmm. that way there you can stop frauds as they're kind of starting before it gets to the point where you lost out on any money or anything.
Yeah, that's crazy scary. I think there's a real danger of the erosion of trust is happening. Like people mm-hmm. are going to become more and more distrustful because of all these scams. Like, we really, as I said before, we really are getting into an age where we don't know what's real anymore.
No.
You were mentioning a video. Like, I saw a video last week of RFK, who was talking about tacos, and it looked totally legit. And RFK does such, grandiose ideas sometimes that it's something that I would not put past him to talk about, and saying about, like, how tacos are unhealthy, and, like, anyways, I think it's a real danger. Are you not afraid that people are going to not even trust the police at some point, because it is such a crazy world?
Yeah.
Well, I guess what I would say to that is we do a lot of our work in person.
Hmm.
So, we're hope that you can trust that it's us, and that there are things. And you can ask an officer to see their badge. You can ask an officer to try and verify your ID. It's not uncommon for us to, if someone doesn't trust that it's us at the door, we'll tell them to call the police station and verify. And there are ways we can do that. You're right. I think people are going to grow a little more skeptical of things that they see and read, but we'll adapt just like like everybody will.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
my problem right now is answering phone calls, because people say, well, if you don't know the phone number, don't answer it. But we deal with, we're a DJ service as well. We deal with brides who are booking. So I don't know any of these numbers of brides that might be calling. So if I don't answer the phone call, we can lose a lot of business. So in the business world, it's scary to not answer the phone. So what do you suggest with that kind of thing? Because you don't know if it's a real phone number, if it's a scammer or what anymore.
So I don't have it on my phone now, but I know on certain iPhones, there's a prompt that'll say, if this is a real person, press number 6, and that'll put the call through. I'm not sure what that technology is. I don't have it on my phone. Pat, maybe you're aware of this.
it's the new iPhone 20.
Is it?
Yeah, 26, the iOS 26. They introduced that. I have it on my phone. It is
Okay.
fantastic. I don't get spam calls at all anymore. And then you have a section where you can just go in and check unknown numbers and go through the list and see if you've missed any legit, and then mark them as known, so the next time it doesn't happen. But it is fantastic. It's great.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
Yeah, we also got a call from Quebec, because you were saying there's some calls coming from Quebec, and it said it was the Ontario government. The Ontario government is looking at taxing your electrical usage on your business, and we need to protect you from that. Again, like, it sounded really fishy. So who knows if it's true or not? I kind of cut off the conversation at that point, but somebody else might continue, let them talk, and start giving them information about themselves. So how do you know if that's even true? What I'm saying is,
I think first and foremost, like, the government doesn't call you. I don't think.
no, they're talking about the Ontario government is looking at taxing your electrical usage. We are
Okay.
going to protect you.
Oh,
So again, how do you know if it's even a true phone call? Like Julie was saying, you're starting to
question everything.
question every single phone call.
Trust no one.
Trust no one and question everything. It's crazy.
I don't think you can go wrong doing your due diligence and researching. Make no commitment on the phone with these individuals, and do some due diligence and ask some questions. See if they'll leave you, their number, and you'll call them back after you do your due diligence. And
Okay.
Right.
I think that's probably good advice.
Yeah, and part of that, I think, is fact checking. Like,
Yeah.
verify that this is an actual credible agency. Once you've gotten off the phone with them, do some research. Oftentimes, if it's part of a scam, if it's been going on any length of time, oftentimes people will have posted something saying this is a scam that's going on. Be cautious. So, part of it as well is just just never share any information on the phone. If you receive a call, don't share information. Say, I'll call you back. When I'll call you back, I'll give it some thought. And then if you feel that it's credible, call back a number that you find on your own, not one that they give you, that you know is credible. If it's, let's say, the government or CRA, whatever the case may be, look up the number yourself and verify that the number is correct. Because sometimes they will give you a number that goes back to them, which is a misleading number that brings you right back to the fraudster or the scammer. So just be cautious, and if something seems too good to be true, or something seems like it's something that doesn't make sense, or if it seems like it's just something that you've never heard of before, do your homework. Don't follow the easy path. Do your homework and verify, fact check before you commit to anything or share any information.
I think on
Canadian-
Marketplace, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the Canadian government has a great resource for that. It's the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. I just looked up the website. It's a .ca website. Anti-Fraud Centers Centre Antifraud.ca. And a great resource if you're looking to kind of say, is this a fraud? Is this too good to be true? It's an excellent resource.
Perfect. Because I know Marketplace scams a lot of people too. They'll put that pressure on, you need to come get this right away, or put a deposit on it, e-transfer us the money. Of course, they transfer the money, and then everything disappears. So that's another one that people need to be very cautious about.
I think a good rule of thumb would be to just take a breather and tell these people, I will call you back, or, just pause for a minute, because fear is a strong motivator.
Yep.
And I think that they use a lot of fear into those tactics, and just breathe. Tell them you're going to call back, ask for a return phone number. I mean, anybody who wants money from you should be able to give you, like, if they're legit, should be able to give you a phone number and a company name, and then you can do a little bit of research and get back to them if needed.
I've got one quick one to say too, actually.
I do too. Go ahead.
Now, my daughter is in Calgary right now. She's selling a car. So she's getting phone calls from people saying, I want to buy the car, but I need you to get this Carfax. I'm not really sure how that works. So she has a car. She goes, no, I have a Carfax and I'll send it to you. They go, no, I want you to get mine, the one I want. So of course they've rigged it up that you send $50, $60 to this place that you think you're getting something legitimate. And it's actually money that's going to this fraudster. And then they go, well, if you don't get this, I'm not interested in your car. So my daughter says anymore, well, then move on. I'll wait for the next buyer. So she says this kind of thing is happening there. Is that kind of thing happening here?
I suspect yes, it is. It's I hadn't heard of that myself, but your daughter did the right thing. Be cautious,
Yeah. She
Yeah,
says, no,
and Carfax is a legitimate company, so
Yeah.
they're trying to legitimize their scam by using that name.
Right.
But that's an unusual thing. The data should be exactly the same if it's a legit. In this case, this second company is not legit, so they're not going to
No.
have access to the data.
Mhm.
But the data should be exactly the same, so there'd be no point in
In having a
asking for
different
that
one.
second one other than to
Yeah.
make a quick $40 or $50.
sure.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's what she learned. So that's why she says, that's
Yeah,
fine. If you
that's
don't
good.
want it. move
So
on.
last question before we let you go. I wanted to know, is there any community programs or any workshops available to help residents learn about scam prevention? Do you have anything in place? Do you know of anything that, even in Ottawa or something, that can be attended?
We do presentations for fraud awareness and stuff on a fairly regular basis for various community organizations, senior clubs, things like that. During different times of the year, we have different topics we cover. But that's basically oftentimes people have requested it, or other organizations have organized it and have asked us to attend to speak to their clients or the community about various frauds and scams. Online safety is a big thing that we often try to cover, no matter what age group you're part of. If you're online, you need to be safe about it.
Mhm.
And by using online safety properly, you can limit the risk of being a victim of crime
Mhm.
and fraud. But if there's a group in the community that wants a presentation, they just have to ask, and we can try to accommodate as best we can
Awesome.
the topic that's being asked for.
And of course, follow the Cornwall Police Facebook page, because I know you post on there whenever there is a scam going on in the area. So follow the Cornwall Police website and Facebook page.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, gentlemen. That was very informative, and
Yeah.
we wish you a great day.
Thank you.
you.
Take
Thank you.
care.
All
Same
right.
to you.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was
That's-
fun.
Yeah, that was informative, but there's so many more scams that are constantly coming up, and
Mhm,
there was a
mhm.
few scams that they'd never even heard of too.
I know.
So they're constantly
It
on
just
the
goes to show you how innovative and
yeah.
constantly moving this world is. Like, there's more and more clever scams happening all the time. Like the QR code one is really worrisome because, people
Mhm.
use QR codes everywhere. You see it on
Yep.
posters all the time. I would say to people, like, just to protect yourself, like, okay, because the parking lot one was one thing, like, those are stickers and they just go
Yep.
ahead and put the little sticker on top. But let's say you have a poster and you have a QR code on your poster, and you're distributing that to people. Try to put it inside the glass instead of outside the glass, so people cannot stick the sticker on the poster, you
Yep.
know stuff like that. Anyways, it's just like I said, I'm really worried about the erosion of trust. I'm really
Yep.
worried that people are going to become more and more leery of one another, especially with AI. It's going to become very difficult to differentiate what's real and what's not real.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be an interesting 5 years for sure.
Yeah, it's not going to get any easier. But like
No.
I said, even when I was at St. Lawrence College, it was a QR code you had
Well,
to
that's
keep.
the
I'm
thing,
like
we're gonna
worried
start
about
being like, okay, is this real? Is this not real?
yeah.
Should I do this? Should I not do that? Like,
Yep.
it's crazy. It's like
And I did it because
exhausting.
the presentation was starting, and it's like I don't want a ticket, and I'm like under pressure, and what do? I can't go park somewhere else. So I
Yeah,
did, and I'm
yeah,
thinking, I'm hoping this goes to the right
yeah.
place.
But
Yeah.
yeah, for parking apps, like usually they're apps, so don't scan the QR code. By the way, this QR code is fine, guys. The QR code that says read the latest issue, you can scan that. That's fine. But,
We won't ask you to give any money.
or
All
any
good.
personal information. Just
No.
anyway. But yeah, just download the app instead of or go to the website instead of scanning the QR code. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And then the other part about, I mean, obviously, some people put way too much information on Facebook.
yep,
So
yep,
again, you're just asking for problems.
yep, yep,
So limit what you put out there.
yep,
Anyways, it was very informative for
yep.
sure.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that's it for us for this week. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the talk. And if you have any questions, you can still post them in the comment box and we'll ask
Yep.
for you. And then we'll see you next week.
And we are working on the December Seeker with the Home for the Holidays Split magazine. So you do need to be in there if you're a business.
Yep.
Email us at info@theseeker.ca. Deadline
Absolutely.
November the 20th.
Absolutely. And if you hop in before Friday, then we can play your ad on the broadcast of the Santa Claus parade as well. So
Yes.
hop in before Friday. All right, guys. Thank you. Don't miss us on Saturday. We'll be broadcasting live from the Seeker office.
And
All right.
Yep, and you'll come visit, come say hi to us both. We're both going to be at the secret office, 327 2nd Street East.
Yep. That like talking about not putting information
Oh,
on.
shoot.
No,
Everybody,
that's fine. Everybody knows. Okay.
everybody knows the secret office.
Have a great week.
And a super duper day.
Bye for now.